We make all these mistakes.
So you don't have to.
It's our way of giving back. And today we're going to talk about the 5 biggest mistakes that we've made in our almost 5 years on the road. And the last one could have done some serious damage to people and property. And we're going to get right into it with mistake number 5. Having the wrong truck. When we first bought our RV, our first RV, the Bullet, we had the truck already. So we had to actually do the opposite of what you should do. We had to buy the RV to fit the truck.
We had actually looked at one that we wanted, an RV that we wanted, but found out that the truck was not capable of pulling it.
Exactly. And again, we've talked about it in the past, that Camping World is not the devil. The sales guy at Camping World told us that in no uncertain terms that he would not sell us that RV, even though it was more money, because our truck could not handle it. Well, we came to find out that in reality, our truck, although it could pull and stop that RV, any kind of incline whatsoever was just
strain.
A big strain. We would have put that truck into an early grave if we had continued. So we ended up buying the F-250, which we've talked about recently. Then we made another mistake. We went out and we upgraded. And rather than buying an RV that had a weight that was a bit away from the maximum that the F-250 could handle, we bought one that was right at the maximum that the F-250 can handle. And that truck served us well, don't get me wrong. And as I said in the previous video, it kind of aged out. It was worn. Okay. And now we've got the Ram that I've talked about in previous videos. And that's the tip there, is buy the truck after you buy the RV.
If at all possible. If you've already got a truck, be sure you know what it can do comfortably.
And truth of the matter is, it wouldn't have been possible for us. We didn't have the money to buy an RV and a truck.
Yeah. Number 4, we didn't do a lot or any practicing with the rig pulling it.
No.
Everybody advises that. When you get a rig and you've never pulled one before, you've never pulled a trailer behind or anything behind your truck, find an open parking lot. Get out there and just practice. Forward, backwards, turns, going around obstacles and things. We didn't do that.
And biggest of all, learn your turn radius.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I had some experience backing up with a trailer because I had my boat, but turn radius is really what got me. I pulled into a gas station when we had the Bullet and filled up and was all ready to go, pulled out and ended up hitting one of those big posts that are by the gas pumps. And I didn't hit it. I mean, it didn't really even do any damage to the Bullet whatsoever. However, when we got this one, I also didn't check it out and see the turn radius and get a feel for it. And I ended up hitting a post in an RV park that knocked off our fender skirt and put a little bend in our slide. Fortunately for us, it was really no damage that did any bad things to it.
Just cosmetic.
If you've been around our channel at all, then you may have seen the basically day from hell or trip from hell that we had, that video. And one of the things in that day was getting stuck in a parking lot that I really had no way to exit because I had a 26-foot trailer behind me. So know your exit before you enter any place.
A gas station, if you're going in a parking lot to turn around, anytime you're going into an unknown area, it's best to, my personal opinion, is the best thing to do is to go past there, make sure you know where the exit is, what's going on. survey the area, however you need to do that, to make sure you know how you're going to get out
And
of
if
that
you're not
parking lot.
sure, take a walk. Get out of the truck, take a walk down there, take a look, and see what you got. I mean, back in Georgia, when literally the first stop when we went on the road, we went down a dead-end street that was a cul-de-sac, but it was a very tiny cul-de-sac. And even with the much shorter rig, it took us 20 minutes to turn around in the rain. So, know where you're going with your rig.
Number 2 is not walking around the rig before you take off. Whenever we get ready to leave somewhere, we're hooked up, we check our lights, we have a routine of things that we do, and one of the things that I do is walk around the rig at least once, usually twice. Sometimes Felix will get out and walk around again to make sure everything's done, make sure everything's closed, make sure everything's working.
And that's something we do now. Okay? Now, you have to do this. Believe me, you have to do this. Even if it's an overnight stop, you just pulled in, you never even unhooked. And let me tell you why. We didn't do it. In one of our overnight stops in Louisiana, on the way back to the East Coast to Tifton, Georgia from Tucson, we stopped in Louisiana for an overnight, and we were pulling out in the morning, and we didn't do that full walk around. And sure enough, I left our tongue jack down. As we were pulling out of the spot, I didn't even hear it.
No.
And Cindy didn't see it because she was behind the RV. Fortunately, there were a number of other campers that were out, and they started screaming and yelling that I was dragging my tongue jack. Again, we were extremely lucky. Did no damage to the rig, did no damage to the tongue jack. I got out, I brought it up, we went on our way. Oh, and I mean, it happened literally on the first time we took the thing out of the driveway, going to Grifton, North Carolina. I left one of the basement doors open. And again, I was fortunate, a trucker flagged me down and was pointing to my door that was wide open, and we lost nothing. Amazingly, nothing fell out of the basement door.
Lots of beginner's luck.
Okay, and the number 1, and this is the one I'm talking about that could have really done some serious damage, and this is totally on us.
Oh yeah, we knew better.
When we bought this rig, we brought it home from Camping World, brought it home to the RV park we were staying at in South Carolina, parked it, got out, raised the tongue jack, and unhitched. And friends and neighbors, our loyal subscribers, that was the biggest mistake we've made to date. In almost 5 years on the road, nothing even comes close. That could have caused innumerable amounts of damage.
Because we didn't put the chocks behind the wheels.
Behind the wheels. And this rig, almost 10,000 pounds of it, started rolling backwards.
The RV's rolling away.
And what was our reaction? We grabbed the tongue jack.
Like we were going to stop it.
Yeah, and no, that wasn't happening.
It's just a knee-jerk reaction
Yeah.
of stop.
Again, I cannot tell you how blessed I feel in our entire journey on the road since we went full-time. The tongue jack dug into the gravel and stopped the rig from rolling backwards. I ended up hooking the truck back up to it and pulling it back forward a little bit, adjusting. Didn't unhitch until we put the chocks in, and everything was fine.
It was very scary because we were on a hill, probably the highest point at that part of the RV park, and it was a very hilly park. So if it had continued to roll, if it hadn't dug into the gravel, it would have gone
It could
downhill.
I mean, let's be blatant here. It could have killed somebody, or completely destroyed several other rigs, including itself. Never unhitch from your truck before you put the chocks under the wheels.
We'll never do that again.
Oh, no, absolutely not. Just like we'll never forget to pull up our tongue jack again. I'm hoping that I'll remember to not ever go into some place that I don't know the exit from, because that wasn't the first time I did it. But live and learn.
And learn from our mistakes.
Exactly.
Take notes. Don't do what we do.
What's the biggest mistake you've made? Drop a comment below. See you next week.